You're listening to Weight Loss for Life Coaches, Episode 2, with certified life and weight loss coach, Paige Bowman.
Welcome to Weight Loss for Life Coaches, the weekly podcast for coaches who are growing their coaching business and on their weight loss journey. Each week, we'll be tackling why weight loss feels hard and how to make hitting your weight loss goal the simplest thing you do all day. Welcome to episode 2. Today we are going to talk about why it's okay to have a big business goal and lose weight. Now, contrary to popular belief, you don't have to pick one goal to work on at a time. It's understandable if you do want to, if you're on a journey to learn how to create results and show yourself you can set a goal and hit it, and you do just want to focus on the one thing. It also makes sense if you want to put all of your energy into creating one really big result and you want nothing else at all in a place of growth. But otherwise, it's perfectly fine and acceptable, and in my opinion, worth it to go for two big things at a time. And just a side note, you don't have to call them big things if that doesn't serve you. But I wanted to become a 6-figure business owner as a life coach and hit my weight loss goal. And to me, those were two big things. One big reason why it's okay to have both a business goal and a weight loss goal is that you have one brain. And honestly, what you do in one thing will 100% affect the other. I found that the work I did on my weight loss journey 100% helped me as I became an entrepreneur and then grew my business to 6 figures. And growing my business to 6 figures, becoming an entrepreneur for the first time in my life, immensely helped me on my weight loss journey. And I truly believe that the work I did on becoming an entrepreneur and selling something helped me on my weight loss journey in a way that I don't think I ever would have figured out otherwise. I think that the reciprocal relationship between building a business and going on your weight loss journey is a beautiful thing. So I am all for doing both if you desire the two results, losing weight and making more money. It's important to point out two things. One is that losing weight doesn't have to take a lot of energy and therefore can be the simplest thing you do all day. Y'all, this is one of my favorite mantras I've come up with, and it is by far my bottom line up front message. It's what this entire podcast is about. Weight loss can be the simplest thing you do all day, and therefore maintenance can be the simplest thing you do all day. And the second thing, losing weight the simple way will actually save you time and energy in your business and your life. When you're building certain skills on this simple weight loss journey, those skills will translate in saved time and energy. So let's talk about those skills. Number 1 is feeling and processing emotions. This is a great example of a skill that will save you time in your business as you work on your simple weight loss journey. I have a great example of a client who is going through a launch. I actually have a couple of clients going through launches right now in their coaching business. And she told me recently that she, for the first time ever in her business, doing a launch, is going all in on her launch. She isn't holding back at all because she has built this skill of feeling and processing her emotions. And she has this belief that she can handle any emotion that comes her way, any emotion that she creates. So she is all for anything that comes on this launch. She's all in. She's never done this before because she never realized that she could handle any emotion. Otherwise, in the past, she's had to hold back from going all in on her launch because she's been afraid of what emotions she might experience. And the other part of that is she's always needed food to deal with those emotions that did come up in the past during a launch. Whereas this time, she's not using food at all to tamp down her emotional experience. She's going all in on her launch and not leaning on food at all. she's leaning on the skill that we have worked on in our work together for her weight loss journey in her business. The second skill is planning food ahead of time. This one is a two-parter, and if you remember, my 3 super simple steps are all about planning food ahead of time. This skill is a two-parter that helps you save time and energy in your business and your life because you're taking away the drama and the time spent wondering what you'll eat and then arguing with yourself about it. And you're making the best decision for your body because you're making these decisions ahead of time using your prefrontal cortex. So you're probably feeling better and feeding your brain better. Speaking of feeding your body better and your brain better, I actually have a goal coming into this year of eating 1 pound of raw veggies. And I'm not quite at 1 pound yet. I'm working my way up there, but I feel so much better than I have in a long time. And just TMI, my stool is better. I feel like I can focus more. My brain feels clearer. And my goal, I really didn't have a reason why going into this goal. I just knew I wanted to eat more raw vegetables. And it's funny because I told a client recently, you have and are growing $1 million business, which means you have $1 million brain. So you got to feed it like it's $1 million brain. And it's so much easier to feed your body what your brain and your body really need when you're making these plans ahead of time. Another example I have with a client, speaking of planning food ahead of time, she told me when we first started working together that she didn't really think about food that much and that wasn't really a problem. Well, it turns out she actually spends about 45 minutes before every single meal trying to decide what to eat, arguing with herself about it, and then the rest of the time spent shaming herself about her food choices and lack of organization. And why can't she figure this out? Because, she is a life coach. I hear this from all of my clients. The number one thing every single client says in our time together is, through this work, I have so much more brain space in my day. I have so much more energy and time to think about my clients and my business and to just be because I'm not thinking about food as much. I hardly think about food anymore. And this just comes from the one skill of planning your food ahead of time. Another skill that is very useful for both your weight loss journey and your business is allowing urges or cravings. Listen, you have a primal brain and it wants pleasure. It wants those dopamine hits. And if you're working on a task that takes a lot of brain energy and a lot of focus, your primal brain is going to want those dopamine hits. And if you get up and go eat every time you have an urge or a craving while you're doing a task, you're getting about half of the actual work and that focus time in. So with this skill of allowing urges and allowing cravings, what we're doing is we're teaching the brain how to work and be focused and doing those tasks that take a lot of brain energy without needing to stop and using other things other than food to give you dopamine hits. You could plan a daily or multiple times a day walk around the block. You could do handstands like I'm doing right now in between client calls or when you want to take a break. The question I like to ask my clients is, what would it be like to not lean on food for those dopamine hits and to be able to focus without giving into an urge or a craving while you're working? Just the skill of allowing urges and allowing cravings without giving into them will change your daily work experience. This is one of the biggest things I noticed on my journey in the very beginning and even now. I find myself hardly wanting to get up when I'm doing focus time in my work. I find myself much more able to use my brain on writing copy or writing a podcast episode or back-to-back calls with clients without needing to break that up with something, or I've already taken care of myself and given myself plenty of breaks, so I don't need to break up my focus time with walking away. And it's so much easier to stick to your food plan and know that you'll follow what you said you were going to eat when you have this ability to allow your urges and allow your cravings during a high focus work day. So you're more willing to plan that day and know you won't self-sabotage your workflow with eating off plan and giving into urges. And you won't even have a lot because you've been working through this skill. The last skill is making decisions ahead of time and honoring those decisions. Again, these are skills we practice with the 3 super simple steps, which, by the way, I'm sharing with you real time on Instagram stories. If you're listening in January, I'm sharing with you my daily food plan as I work on this skill of planning my food ahead of time and honoring my decision. I'm sharing with you what's working, what's not working, and the tweaks I'm making, as this is the one thing that I'm working on in my journey right now. So again, you can find that on my Instagram at LifeCoachPageB. But this skill may seem obvious, right? Making decisions ahead of time and honoring those decisions. But you may not realize how truly you have one brain. So when you practice this in one area, it will affect you in the other. So if you find that you're not making decisions ahead of time for your food and you're not honoring those decisions that you do make, that's probably showing up in your business. So when you work on it in your simple weight loss journey, it will transfer to your work in your business. And the best part is, if this is a skill that you have worked on in your business, and then you decide to take on the 3 super simple steps as your one thing on your weight loss journey, this may come more natural to you because you've done this work in your business. I find that to be the case with some of my clients where they have done the work of being someone who can make decisions ahead of time and stick to those decisions. So that part of their weight loss journey is actually pretty easy. So again, it's that reciprocal relationship between the 2 things that you're working on. It can be a beautiful relationship between the 2 if you just have your eyes open to see it. So here are some questions to ponder. Listen, y'all, you're going to get to know me on this podcast, or if you already know me, I love asking powerful questions. There's this book called The 4 Tendencies. I think the author is Gretchen Rubin, and she talks about 4 personality types. And if you know anything about those, I am a questioner. I am always asking myself powerful questions. I'm always asking my clients questions. And here on the podcast, I'll be asking you questions on every episode because I want you to mine your brain and I want you to ask yourself powerful questions to get you thinking about things in just a different way, but that's for your benefit. So the first question is, why do I want to lose weight while I grow my business? This is such a powerful question because it'll help you know your why and love your reasons. Because if you don't love your reasons, then we got to change them. And if you don't love your why, we got to change it or change your course of action. Either way, it'll take commitment. Commitment to doing both, lose weight and grow your business, or commitment to pausing one of them. So either way, know your why. Why do I want to do both? Why do I want to lose weight while I grow my business? For me, I wanted to stop waiting and pushing off my weight loss journey. I have always found a reason to push off my weight loss journey, whether it was because I was going to school and working, or going to school and having an internship, or working and doing an internship, or working and going to school. For me, it was because I was tired of pushing off my weight loss journey. And once I learned about the way that I have lost the last 25 pounds, which is to stop overeating and to stop emotionally eating, not necessarily using a diet. Once I learned about this way of doing things, I decided I wanted to put it into practice. And I didn't want to have to wait to do that just because I was learning how to be a coach and growing my coaching business. I decided to show myself that I could do both. I wanted to practice these mindset tools in the emotional management on both growing a business and losing weight. I loved my reasons, and I was committed to doing both. Another powerful question is, what do I want to gain from this experience? I wanted to show myself I could do anything I wanted to. I wanted to work on building these skills that we talked about in today's episode, and I didn't care how long it took or how long it's taking to be someone who's mastered her mind management or emotional management or has let go of old stories about food and her body. but I was committed to changing my relationship with myself. That's what I wanted to gain from this experience. I want you to really dream. What would it be like if you did both? I love my results of having a 6-figure business and losing 25 pounds since 2019 when I started on this journey. I had a dream that I would become a coach and grow my business to 6 figures, and that I would lose 25 pounds and hit my weight loss goal. I would do them both, and it would be powerful. And the last question I want you to ponder is, what will make this journey simple for me? I want you to mine your brain first. And then I want to refer you to episode 1 of What is Simple Weight Loss. Because if you're going to do both, which is the whole point of this episode, is if you're going to do both, grow your business and lose weight, I highly recommend doing it the simple way. And I talked about what it means to do weight loss the simple way in episode 1. Remember, there's 2 filters. It has to be doable and maintainable. So for example, I'm working on losing 5 pounds, and I'm doing it by doing the one thing, the 3 super simple steps: planning my food ahead of time, writing it down, and honoring my plan. And that's it. And it's so simple because it takes me like 2 minutes a day that I can do this. I can be on this journey while I double my business this year. So if you're going to do both, if you're on board or you're like, yeah, Paige, I'm down, then I highly recommend doing it the simple way. So go back and listen to episode 1 and mine your brain of what will make this journey simple for you. Y'all, that's my take. You can do both. You can lose weight and grow your business. In fact, it's beneficial to do both because of the skills you'll work on your simple weight loss journey. Skills like feeling and processing your emotions, knowing you can handle any emotion, planning your food ahead of time, saving yourself up to an hour a day by not arguing with yourself about what you'll eat at every meal, allowing urges and cravings so you can double down during your work time, and making decisions ahead of time and honoring those decisions. Again, I know what they say, and I'm not being contrary. If you want to do just one thing, by all means. But I want you to know that you can do 2 things. You can grow your business and you can lose weight. And you don't have to pause either one if you don't want to. And this episode is all about why and how you can do so. If you loved this episode, share it with others. Share it for other life coaches to check out who also want to do both. And leave a review wherever you listen to podcasts. Let us know what you want to hear more about. You can either email me at hello@paigebowman.com, or you can DM me at lifecoachpaigeb on Instagram. And also come check me out on Instagram, where I'm showing you my real-time progress on working through the 3 steps, which is my thing right now, my one thing that I'm working on to lose the next 5 pounds. And I'm showing you what's working, what's not working, and I'm just letting you in on my journey as I go through doing both, growing my business and losing weight. And you can always find more about simple weight loss at paigebowman.com. That's it for this episode. See y'all next week.